Hello everyone, welcome to Zaref Game Dev. In this video, we are going to create the TrickySpin game in Unity. So it's another one hyper casual game, and the assets or the files for the project are in the GitHub repository down below. And the previous assets that we are going to use, you can search it by the project name. That will also be uh, you can get it from the repository. So it's another one simple hyper casual game, and most of the features that we have coded in the last 9 games. So we are just going to build on top of it. If we need something, then we'll discard it. If we want to add some feature, then we'll code it up. But the overall structure is going to remain the same. The player is going to remain the player. There are going to be obstacles, the points, maybe some more events which triggers some conditions. Like in this game, when the scores threshold is a certain amount, the player and the trails color is going to change and the obstacles color is going to change. So these are just some minor features, but the main overall structure of the game is going to be the same. We have the main menu. In each we have buttons which takes us to the gameplay scene, and in the gameplay scene we have all of our scripts and all the prefabs that we need. And let's start creating the game. So we have empty Unity project opened up. Just an open blank Unity project. There's just the sample scene and a couple of tabs opened up. So first what we are going to do is delete our sample scene. We don't need it. And let's change our build platform to Android. So we can remove some of the packages. And after that, we are going to bring in let's first bring in our colors because those are the easiest. All you have to do is if you have copied the current script, the current project downloaded from the GitHub, just copy our editor folder, which is going to include the colors for the game. So it is compiling scripts. It will be done in a half a minute. So I brought my Unity project inside, and editor is importing or compiling scripts. It will be fast. I don't know why it's taking a little bit more time, but let's see what we have to do next. So this is our editor, which includes our colors. We are going to remove the sample scene from here. So that's it for our build settings. Now inside our preferences, mm, we need to, what did we need to set in our preferences? Okay, there was nothing inside our preferences. In our project settings for the Text Mesh Pro, we'll need to disable our uh, warnings so it doesn't show up as a warning and not be loaded. And let's remove all the packages we don't need. So JetBrains Rider Editor we don't need. Test Framework we are not going to need. Toolchain we are not going to need. Visual scripting and version control, both also we don't need them, as we are only building for Android, and we are going to need the 2D because sometimes if we need to change the anchor, the 2D package, there are some settings which help us change the 9 sliced whenever we want to use slicing and edit the sprite itself. And it also supports the tile map and so, but we are just going to have the 2D settings there only. It has couple of packages, but if you want you can remove that. If you think your assets are already high quality, if the image has high quality, and if you don't want to use the 2D package, but it would be good if it is there. So after we have removed all of our packages, we are going to have these 5 packages at the end: the Text Mesh Pro, the Timeline, the Unity UI, the Visual Studio Editor, because I'm using Visual Studio. And if you are using an any other editor, just have the package for that, so the autocorrect does not mess up. And there, yeah, a couple of things: intelligence purposes, discovery of installations, and so. And 2D packages, we are going to need everything: animation, pixel perfect, PSD importer if you have different sprite shape, if the shape of the sprite is different, the 2D tile map. So we are just going to leave it there. Now we have 2 folders inside our scene. So let's bring in our rest of our folders. So the first we are going to do is copy our previous project, which is going to be our tricky turns, and it will import all of our scenes. And you should have, there is scenes, and inside the scenes we have editor. Why did this scenes happen? And why did the editor go there? So let's bring the editor on the top, delete this scenes folder, and rename our scenes folder as, we should have deleted it before, but doesn't matter. Let's go inside our main menu. We are not going to need the package manager. Project settings, maybe we'll need it, but the only thing we may need is our fixed time step. So let's set it to 0.005, as there are not many objects. It will smooth out all our positions inside our preferences. Everything is perfectly set up. I don't think we need the preferences. Maybe, yeah, I changed the color, so that's why I needed the preferences. So previously it was a dark red color, so it was too much bright. And inside our build settings, we'll need to add our main menu and our gameplay, and our build settings is also done. So this is our previous project, and if we go inside our main camera and our tags, so the tags are automatically set up, but maybe it won't show up. So there's the issue with the tag. So let me go inside my project settings and check my tag manager. So it happened last time that the tags were not added, and it is also currently not added. So it is showing up there, but inside my project settings the tags are not there, but they are inside the prefab. So if you restart the project, so let's set both of them to untagged. And yeah, I opened up preferences for generating the project files again. So it will regenerate project files. And now if we go inside our tags, why is it still there? I regenerated it, gameplay and the main menu. The tags are still there, so there's this issue. So if you restart the project again, it will show up as an error because the tags are here, but if you go inside the project settings and the tag manager folder, they are not there. So that's the only issue. You may have this issue in all previous of the projects. So let's see if our current projects is correctly set up. So let's hit play, and this was our previous project. We can score, and we can die, and everything is correctly set up. So now let's first change our color and the title. So this one is the TrickySpin. Let's change our game to 18:9 portrait, and we will set this in the simulator, and let's use the iPhone 12. So this is how our game is going to look, and as we have already imported our colors, all we need to do is change only the colors, and it will look how we want it to look right now. So this is our image. Nothing else is going to change inside there. Only the colors are going to change. And for our text, let's make it black, and our image, we are going to make it black. So we only changed a couple of settings, and let's see if it didn't break. And we should still be go inside the main menu and play the game. So our main menu is correctly set up. Now what we are going to do is change the UI for our gameplay scene so it looks similar to our current game. So as we have already set up the color, this is how our side screen is going to look, and our center is going to be 12.8 by 12.8, and instead of bar it is going to be a circle, and there are going to be two colors. So let's set up this one at -2, and this color is going to be our darker, what color was it? No, not the darker color. Maybe it was black, pure black. I don't remember. So. We set up the color, but we forgot what color it was. So let's just directly get it from the. Yeah, it was black. So our current color is this dark bluish color, and our center color is going to be a black color. Yeah, that's how it was. So nothing different. And we are going to duplicate this center. You can rename it whatever you want and parent it to our current center, but this one's order is going to be -1, and we are going to position at 6.4. And this color we are going to change our previous color. So this is where our player is going to be. It's not going to need the rest of the two circles. And what else? uh, so many things are going to be changed. So what we will do is first remove everything and we'll start adding afterwards. So first we'll add the sprite renderer. Is it recording? Yeah. So inside our sprite renderer, we'll choose our circle sprite, and it is going to be 1.92 by 1.9, which is our current sprite. And its color is going to be our orangish color, and its position is going to be 4.8. So that's where our sprite is. And after that, we'll add a circle collider 2D, which is going to automatically set it up as 0.96. And after we have our circle collider 2D, we'll need a rigid body 2D, which is going to set to interpolate so its movement is smooth. We'll need the rigid body 2D cause our both the players and the obstacles are triggers and they don't have rigid body. We are just changing its transform position, and to detect collisions, one of the objects needs a rigid body. So that is going to be with the player. And finally, what we are going to need to have for our player is a particle system. And as you can see, it is not looking good right now, but we'll set it up a little bit later. So our current players at the 0th order, we need to set it at the top, and our both of the obstacles are at 0, so they need to set it at somewhat higher at 4. And our trail, which is inside our scene, we are going to set it up at the order in layer of 5, not 5, I mean 3, that was at 4. So our background, then our circle, then we have our trails, Then above the trail, there are going to be obstacles and the scores. And finally, so its order in layer is true, but why did it spawn -2 and -1? So we'll need to yeah, now it correctly set it up. So that was our renderer texture sheet animation. Instead of grid, use sprite. And sprite, what we are going to use is our circle size over lifetime. We are going to decrease linearly. And shape, instead of cone, let's just use a default circle whose radius is the minimum. And as you can see, it is spawning some sprites, but I don't need it to spawn like that. So let's go inside the emission and let's set the emission rate to 8. And after our emission rate is set up, let's go inside our player. The simulation space is going to be world. Our start color is going to be our greenish color. And our start size is going to be 0.1.6, no, 0.96. mm, yeah, let's just set it at 0. 1 should be better. So that's how it is. Start speed 0, it's not going to move anywhere, and our lifetime is going to be 0.8. And yeah, that should be it. And we didn't remove anything, but let's see how our current game looks. So let's hit and play the main menu. The end screen will look different. Okay, so it moved down, but why did it move down? So there was an scenes. Let's go inside our gameplay, and we can see our particle system working correctly. Move down, move down, move down, and so move time was 3.2. Let's hit play again. And let's see where our okay, so that was the issue with our rigid body. We forgot to turn off it as kinematic. It was set to dynamic, so it was overriding our values. Now let's go inside our main menu. We'll need to save it and let's play the game again. So we should be able to see our player moving. It should move up and down. Actually it was rotating, but we are not able to see it rotate. So that's the issue, and there is also some problem with our, which we are going to fix. So the first thing, mm, let's go inside our gameplay, and if you see, we have our screen setup, but our end screen is not correctly set up. So our end score is going to be the similar color, and our this canvas, it's going to be at the highest order in layer, and everything else is going to be similar. So this is going to be our end screen, and our player currently is just like it's rotating, but we can't see it rotate cause it's a circle. So we are going to change the movement logic for the player, and then we will start changing logic for our obstacles, or maybe we should change logic for obstacles first. So let's see what issues are we facing, and then we'll start changing our scripts. So let's hit save. Our main menu is correctly set up. It's only 20 minutes. So there's an issue there. Okay. Oh, it is loud. So it should have been the dark color, but it is not. The score is working perfectly fine. And I think we'll need to decrease our audio pitch a little bit. Let's set it around 0.7 volume. And let's see how we can change our player script first. Because there's not going to be much changes in our player script. It's going to have save gameplay. Yeah, it's just going to have a couple different more scripts, not scripts, a little bit more functions, and everything else is going to be similar. So let's go inside Visual Studio, and this is our current script. So we have opened up the player script, and let's see. We have the move time. We are going to need one more parameter for the rotate radius, and rotate angle and everything else is going to remain the same, but we are one more serialized field private, and it is going to vector3, is going to be called center, and everything else is going to remain the same. Rotate speed is going to be 360 by yeah, let's just have it at 360 divided by move time. And we are going to have one more function which is going to change the color, and there is some sound going on right now. So afterwards what we are going to do is current rotate angle, we are going to increase the current rotate angle, and instead of setting the transform dot rotation we are going to set the transform dot position. But what we are going to set it up to is transform dot position is going to be center plus rotate radius multiplied by the direction. And where is the direction? We are going to calculate depending on the fixed update. Let's create a vector3 direction, and we'll set our direction here. It's good to directly cache it so it does not create new memory again and again. And it is going to be new vector3, and suppose starting it is 0 0 0. I mean the direction can never be 0, but let's make it 1 0 and 0. That means it is at the starting position, and our first coordinate is the cos of our angle, which is the current rotate angle. So cos 0 is going to be 1, so it is going to be mathf dot cos of, and it is going to be our current rotate angle multiplied by mathf or dot, and we'll need to convert it to radian. So this is going to be our x position, and our y position, it is going to be similar, but instead of mathf.cos we are going to use mathf.sin, which is going to convert it to 0, and everything else is going to remain the same. And we are going to transform dot position, and t0 t1 not needed, and game condition is going to remain the same. And before that here we are going to have a score, and yeah, nothing else. And we'll need to create the score script again, it's showing up as an error. And there is also one more for our color change. So let's rename this to private vector 3 direction. And for now, let's set it as an obstacle. And what we need to check if our player is rotating or not. So that was the goal for the change in the script. So let's see if our player is rotating right now. So we are inside Unity, and as we just change rotate radius, let's set it to 0.4.8, and our move time, it is going to be decreased. I mean, let's set it up to be how much time? 0.64 to 0.56. And let's go inside our main menu and let's hit play. So as you can see, it is rotating right now. And the game also ended, so our obstacle is also working. No issue with the obstacle here. And no issue with our score. So again, our score is easier to change. So we'll start changing our score first. And we are going to create a new script for our score, which is going to be called score. And we'll attach it to our score instead of our obstacle script. So let's remove our obstacle script and we will call it score. And currently it is a little bit more bigger, so let's set its size to 1.6, and box collider also 1.6. And as you can see, the tags are here, but they are not inside the tag manager. So when you restart the project or build it, uh, try to delete the library folder and maybe uh, just add all the files again. Not add all the files, delete the library folder and restart the project so it will generate all the files correctly. So let's see what we need to do inside our score. So currently our score is the dark grayish color. We are going to set its color dynamically, but for now let's set it at green. And let's go inside Visual Studio and let's code everything up because coding is much easier. You just need to type something and only thing you need to know is what it does and it may not show any errors. So we'll start coding with our audio manager, nothing different here. And then we have our constants, we don't need the center. Then let's go inside our game manager. So inside our game manager, we did a couple more changes. Mm, mm, mm. Let's see where we did the change. So inside our UI and inside our update score, we are going to have a event which is going to trigger when our score %2 is equals to 0. And what it's going to change is just start and end, nothing issues here. We are in our obstacle, we have the obstacle and the score. The obstacle spawn pause, which is going to be list, everything else is similar. I think the spawning is also correct. We are just going to create one more region which is going to have parameters for our color change event. And here the first thing we are going to have is a serialized field. private list of color, and we are just going to call it colors, and after that underscore c, cause it's private. And then we are going to have hidden inspector. Public color and current color, which is going to be under slash colors of our current color ID, and this one is going to be a unity action, and let's call it color changed. And here we are going to pass a parameter of our color. And finally, the private and current color ID and our private and current color ID. Get, we are going to return our current color ID. Set current color ID is going to be our value percent of colors dot count. So it is going to automatically set it up. We don't need to change. And after that, we are going to colors changed dot invoke, and we are going to invoke with the current color. So it is going to know which our current colors is, and here we are going to pass our current color ID. So this is just our how the color change event is going to work. There are list of colors, and there's the current color which is passed inside our event. And whenever we increase the value of the current color ID, which is just going to increase it by 1, it is going to change from 0 till colors.count, which is going to happen inside our score. So where is our score? So current color ID plus plus, and we are also going to need it in our start. So obstacle spawning is also correctly done. So let's go for our game start and end methods, and when our game starts, before our start is invoked, we'll need to set up our colors. I mean, all we need to do is just set our current color ID to 0, and that should do the trick. So that's how it's getting invoked inside our game manager. We created an event which passes the color, and whoever is subscribed to that event will change its color to that color. So the colors we are getting from the colors, the current color ID, we set it as a parameter, then a field which automatically invokes when our current color ID value is changed. Perfect. I mean, not perfect, but it works till now, and there was not much code added. All we did was increase the current color ID by 1 and set the current color ID to 0 at start. So it will change to what is I indexed at the colors at 0, and it will change to the next index till it reaches the end of the list, cause we uh, have our percentage of colors dot count. So when it reaches the end, it will set to 0. So game manager is done. Main menu manager, nothing here. Obstacles, we are going to have a couple more scripts, but let's see what we need to do first. So we have our move speed, then our max offset, then we have our destroy time, then we are going to have a rotate speed, And after that, a private bool has game finished. And can rotate and is vertical. So if we can rotate, we are going to have a boolean for that. If it is vertical, then we are going to have vertical boolean for this. And we are going to set this up in our start, which is going to be has game finished to false. Can rotate is going to be random dot range from 0 till 4 is equals to 0. And similarly is vertical is going to be random dot range from 0 till 2 is equals to 0. So that is going to be inside our start. And our transform dot rotation is going to be quaternion dot Euler of 0 0. And if it is vertical, then we'll set it to 90f as it's going to set to 0. Easy, simple. And finally, this is our obstacle. So inside our update, if our game has finished, we are not going to do anything. So if our game has finished, then we'll return, and when the game ends, we are going to set has game finished to true. And we are setting its transform dot position. We'll need to also set its rotation, but it's only going to set up when we can rotate. So it is going to be transform dot rotate and rotate speed multiplied by time dot fixed delta time multiplied by forward v3 dot forward, and it will rotate our obstacle. No changes here. Our obstacle is going to have similar color, so doesn't matter. Now we'll need to copy our obstacle script inside our score script cause it's similar. And before that we have our player. uh And inside our player, the only thing that is added after we have started is the color change event. So when our color changes, we are going to subscribe to that event, and it's going to be game manager dot instance dot color changed is equals to color changed, which will need to create it. And here we are going to unsubscribe it. And here we are going to create our color changed event, which is going to pass color, and now it should not show up any errors. And what's going to happen in a color change is get components sprite renderer dot color is going to call, and where rm is equals to particle system dot main, and dot start color is going to be your color. So that's it. So when it's set to 0, it is automatically going to call this function, which is, I think we did it inside the start. And finally we have our score. So inside our score, let's copy paste our obstacle first. And here it does not have the can rotate and is vertical cause it is always going to rotate. And no need to set the transform dot rotation, and as it is always going to rotate, we are not going to set up its rotation. And the only thing that's going to add it is similar to here, the color changed event, cause our point score is also similar color of our player. So we need to add this event subscriber to this event here, because we are going to change the color of the core. And here we'll unsubscribe it when it's destroyed, because it may cause issues if we don't do that. So as our game object is destroyed every time, and there is a reference inside our event, so it will try to invoke that event, and as it is destroyed it will show up some error. And here what we are just going to do is get component sprite renderer, and dot color is going to be called. So that is also done here. No more things to done inside our score, and I think that should be done with the scripting. Next, let's go inside our Unity, and our score is correctly set up. Our obstacle is also correctly set up. And inside our gameplay scene, in our game manager, we'll need to add our colors, which is going to be first is going to be yellow, then it is going to be green. Then let's set up the orange, and afterwards we'll add red, and four colors are more than enough. And we didn't add anything to the game manager, so it is also fine. Our player, we also set it up correctly. Our score, we'll need to set everything up again. 8 negative 15.08, negative 15.08, and rotate speed is going to be rotations per second. Let's have it rotate 120 degrees. Yeah, 120 degrees is fine. And there's a problem with our obstacle. It has two more. Hmm. Let's remove our sprite renderer. And we are going to need to set up our obstacle again. And I think we didn't did it in the last. Yeah, I forgot to change my obstacle inside the prefabs. I'll need to code it up. So our obstacle is going to have similar script. So we have a box collider 2D and an obstacle script. The rotation is also similar, but we are going to need two more colliders, which are going to be circle collider 2D, which is radius at 0.98 and 0.96, and we will set it to trigger, copy component and paste component as new, and we'll set it to negative 0.96, and this is our current obstacle. Let's move obstacle script to the bottommost position, and afterwards we'll add a sprite renderer, and let's set it as the bar. Instead of simple, it's going to be sliced. 1.92 by 1.92, order and layer, it's going to be set to 4, and as you can see, our center shape is done. All we need to do is create two more sprites for our obstacle. So let's create a 2D object sprite and a circle, but we are not going to use this circle, so we are going to use our own circle. So this one is going to have 0.96 and 0.96. 1.92. Okay, the height was different, 0.96. There is some issue here. Yeah, the scaling. So the scaling, don't forget to change 0.92. So that's why there was this error. And similar, its order in layer is going to be set to 4. Let's duplicate this circle, change the position to negative, and that's how our obstacle is going to look. And we'll rename this as obstacle 2 and the first one as circle 1. No changes here. Now let's see how our game works and let's fix up any bugs that will be showing. So let's go inside our main menu, save the scene. Let's hit play. Okay, object reference. So. We added a new box collider which is set to a trigger. Hmm. Yeah, our circle collider, this one is also a trigger. So where is the object reference error? Should be inside the player. Hmm. Yeah, for the score, I think we for no, there should not be. Let's play again and let's see where the error is. So the game ends. There is not any problem. Yeah, I got it. So when we hit the score, our player is going to get the reference for our obstacle script, but actually we need to get the reference for our score script. So that was the error, nothing different. Always check what you intended to do. And let's go inside Unity and everything should be perfectly set up, and our score should also be able to change colors as the game is also ending correctly. There are not many issues. Okay, so it is fine, but we need to set the color at start. So it is going to easy. Let's go inside the score and our color, it is going to be color changed. Let's just call the event color changed of game manager dot instance dot current color, and it should set it up. Just call the function from the score and that should be it, the final touches. So as you can see, it was a pretty easy game, not many changes, but so that was it for this game, and the only error that should be is the tag error. So whenever you restart the project again, or somehow Unity regenerates the project files, which is the library folder and all of the files, you'll need to add the tags again. I don't know why the tags are not added, but maybe we'll try to fix it up. So let's remove all of our tags. And now Let's add our tags again. So add tag. They will be removed the next time the project is loaded. So actually the tags are not here, but still they are shown. So that was it for this video. And I'll fix it up and set up the repository correctly so it does not show error. If you find the same error in the previous project, all you need to do is remove the tags, and don't remove the tags from the prefabs, only from the starting folder, and delete the library folder, add the files again, and it's only the issue with the tags. So if you just directly set it up again, it won't show any errors. And if you did like the video, do like the video and comment below if you whatever want to comment, so it will help the algorithm to uh, identify the video that this is good. And if you have any more suggestions of any more games, try to comment, so I'll take note of it, and when I'll be creating the similar types of games, I'll try to I'll try and see what we can do with it, nothing more. So if I do it, I'll definitely notify you. And that was it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and see you guys in the next one. Do subscribe to the channel and also like the video.